Hey guys, what's up? Steven here, and we're back to another Roblox tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're gonna continue our series, which is how to make an Obby game. So this can be your first game, or we hope you can have something you can add on your game. So previously on our session or our tutorials, we created and give tips on screen GUI, and now we're gonna continue our coding from then. So what do we need to do after we have our screen GUI? First is we need to have something in the replicated storage because we can't call client scripts on local script because we're gonna put a local script here. This would be our reset trigger, and we're gonna put another server script service here called reset handler, and we're gonna put a remote event called reset event. So what's gonna happen here? So what's gonna happen here is we're gonna put a code wherein if we click the reset button, it's gonna trigger our reset handler, and we're gonna notify an event in that system. So since we can't call local script, or we can't call local script with a client or script service, we need the remote event, which is what we're gonna do is after clicking the reset button, the reset trigger will then call on to the reset event, and then so that it would call or have the reset handler run, because that will trigger a response on how we could trigger the server script service on the local script. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but if you have any question, comment down below. So let's start coding. First off, we're gonna code our reset button. We're gonna code it with a simple local button is equals to script.parent, and we're also gonna call our event local event is equals to game replicated reset event. But we need to call replicated storage first, which is actually we need to call our local replicated storage game. Then we're gonna have this game. Yeah, now that's fine. We have called our replicated storage, we have our reset event there, and then what we need to do is this is, I think AI already gave that, but it just vanished without set core. So I'm gonna explain this a bit. Reset button callback is equals to false. So what this is for is because, let's remove this. So this way the reset button, the actual reset button, is not kind of sync with that our reset button. So the reset button is still the way it used to be, like the default reset button of Roblox, but we're gonna create our own. Now, how would we call this? So we would call this by a simple mouse button click, and we're just gonna fire the server. This means we're gonna fire this remote event. And then how do we code this remote event? So that is where we would go with our reset handler, which is our client server script. And same as that, we're gonna call on our replicated storage. Okay, not good job, AI. He's getting into us now. He's getting into us. So we're gonna call on event that on server event. This means once the event is triggered, we're gonna connect to a function to a player. And we're gonna have an end there. So this is for clear checkpoint. We're gonna have, if we recall, we have our checkpoint on Leaderstats. Leaderstat, then checkpoint. Now we're gonna have to type that in. So we're gonna have local checkpoint point value is equals to player, not exactly what we were thinking, find first child, and then we're gonna find the leader stats, and we're gonna add player that leader stat nope that leader stats find first child checkpoint, and we're gonna have it if checkpoint value, then checkpoint value dot value is equals to 0. And then what we need to do is, we don't want to load the character first, but we would want to reset the character. Now if player dot character, then this is the part where we don't want to get the oof sound and just do a simple reset. Like, we're gonna customize that in the future, so we're gonna be removing that. So we're gonna have it to player dot character destroy. This would destroy the character, but if we don't put a load, like we don't load the character, he's not gonna respawn. So what we're gonna do is, oops, where is my task dot wait? Oops. And then we're gonna have to load the character. So what happens is, we're removing the oof sound. We don't want like the player lying around there, but we want the player to be destroyed. And then we're gonna wait. You can even put, or we will put in the future, like a respawn wait time here, but that's for another topic. But for now, we're gonna have to test this. Now we have our reset trigger, we have our reset handler, and we have our remote event, and we have our GUI. So let's test this out. So I have here a checkpoint. I think I closed my leaderboard. So we have here one checkpoint. If I get that death oof because I died, and then but if I reset, I load back in, I got 0 checkpoint. I still get oof sound on death, but if I do reset, it's just a simple, my character vanish and it responds in the lobby. So we don't have our oof sound once we do the reset, because some reset take time, and we don't also have the respawn. So the respawn is locked in because of our code, so that people can't do the respawn here and just use our reset button. I hope you learned something on this video, and follow for more of this. Catch you on another video. Bye bye.